today's video we're making hay. So join with us as we cut, kick, rake, and bale hay on a creek bottom field that is about 1.5 miles from the farm. This field belongs to a friend of my dad's and is a nice flat field that's easy on our equipment. So right now you can see we're cutting the hay, we're mowing it with a mowing machine. This is a 4-head mower. It's a good size piece of equipment for this Massey Ferguson 245. That was my papaw's tractor and is the workhorse of the farm. Step in making hay is getting the grass spread out where it can dry and cure. We've always called this kicking, but the proper name for it is tedding. And that's a verb that goes back to English agriculture like in the 16th century or so. And basically all it means is just to spread out. And so that's what we're doing with this machine that we call a kicker, is getting it spread out so it can dry. Once the hay is being cured and we feel like it's ready to put in the bale, we have to get it raked up into a windrow so that the baler can take it in. And so this machine is called a side delivery rake. And what it does is it just takes the hay that's been spread out across the field and moves it into lines that the baler can eat. So once the hay's raked, then it's time to start baling. So this rig that we're baling with is a Massey Ferguson 360 tractor pulling a Heston 530 baler. So this tractor is a pretty recent addition to the farm, and we got it to bale with and to handle hay with. It's just a bit bigger horsepower and taller than our 245. The bales that this machine makes are 39 inches wide by about 45 inches tall or so, and they were going to weigh between 400 and 500 pounds. So they're, a smaller compact bale, but they're fairly easy to handle compared to like a 4x5 roll that weighs about 1,000 pounds. This baler is a completely manual machine, so there's not any sensors that I'm able to pay attention to. It's all by look and feel. So I spend a lot of my time when I'm baling turned around watching the machine. And so it can make for a bit of a long day in the hayfield, but having the round bale definitely makes pickup easier and storage a little bit easier too. So even though it's not new and fancy, it sure beats a square bale and having to pick them up by hand. So once the hay has been made into bales, it's time to get the field picked clean and the feed transferred up to the farm. So unlike small bales, these round bales can sit out in the weather without too much harm to the feed. So we generally try to do this the next day or so after we've baled. Just like with baling, I'm doing this work behind me. So it's not always quick and easy just because I'm turned around and trying to control the tractor with the steering wheel in front of me while I'm looking behind to see what's going on. So this bale was the last one to come out of the baler. It's not full size, it's misshapen, and it took some work to get it on the tractor. All in all, we made 10 bales on this field, 9 full size plus the little one. And if you think about these bales weigh in about 500 pounds or so, that's pretty close to about 5,000 pounds of feed that we took off of this 2.5 acres. We had cut it the first time back in June and let it grow through the end of September, so that yield's not too bad. So once we get the hay up to the farm, we store it in these long rows where the flat of each bale is stacked against the next one. We do put our little bales on pallets to minimize ground contact so that there isn't any wastage of feed from rot. Storing the hay outside like this is probably not the best solution, but without a way to stack it on top of itself, it would take a lot of barn space to have this all in the dry. And the hay, with the shape of it being round, it does a good job of shedding water. So even though it is outside, there's not too much spoilage from the rain as we're waiting on feeding time to start here in a few months. If those bales that are already stacked seem to be a bit bigger than the bales we've made in this video, that's because they are. Those are 4x5 rolls that weigh 800 to 1,000 pounds, and that's some hay that we've bought in to get us through the winter. We bought quite a few of those for this year, I think 130 to go with the 50 or so small rolls that we're able to make. And having that volume of hay is what we need to get through the winter to feed our cows as a cow-calf operation. We've got cows on the farm year-round, and we'll have calves coming about mid-February or so. So making sure they've got plenty of feed to get them through the cold weather is a pretty important part of our summer. Okay, so that's going to wrap up our 2023 hay season. I think we ended up with 181 bales, 51 of the little ones, like what we brought in just now, and 130 of the 4x5s. If you like what you saw or found it interesting, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more farm videos.